Welcome to Coley Crowns. I'm Ashante.
And I'm Lori, and welcome to our Queendom.
Hi, welcome. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We are the Coley Crowns. We are two best friends that talk all things reality, including reality TV. So we've been recapping shows like Married at First Sight from the last two seasons, and currently we're also recapping Love on Stage, which is found on the Kev on Stage Studio app. So go check out our last video regarding the first few episodes of Love on Stage. And this episode, we're going to be talking about the matches and then the first dates. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to our channel, like and share. And I want to give a quick shout out to Bria and Aries. Hi.
How you doing?
Saw them. They showed up in our comment section, and when we reviewed the first few episodes. So, hi, ladies. We hope you watch this episode and share and comment. Come back and let us know what you think so far.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get started with talking about the matches. So, previous episodes, right? We met the three ladies, and we saw all the guys that were potential mates for them. Or matches. So we got to vote, which is one of the cool things about this show that I really like. It's like happening in real time, and that we got to actually choose and vote who we thought were the best matches for each ladies, right? You want to recap our matches really quick for the three ladies? Do you remember? Okay, well, go watch our last video because to be honest with you, I don't think I remember either.
Oh,
well,
my girl.
There was one for sure I remember, which I think
when we go through, well, okay, I found mine. You want me to say it now?
Go ahead.
So I had for Aries, I had Brandon, but we already knew when you watched her reaction to it that was not going to work. Who knew? Come on. And
small world
Victory, which was a throwaway for me. So I apologize for putting that together, but I guess they were happy about it. But I was just like, I don't know who else to pick. Jesus, who knew?
Yeah.
Bria, I picked Robert and Terrence. So I'm like 2 for 2. And Sherelle, I picked Robert and Terrence too. So I guess I didn't get that one right.
Okay.
But I think you picked Walter.
I did pick Walter for her. It was kind of like,
yeah,
I'll throw him in there and see with the two of them. So they did end up matching. Aries and Brandon, same thing. I thought initially those two, if you watch the show, it turns out she actually knew Brandon and he had dated some of her friends. So that right away wasn't going to happen. And as Lori said, Jesus was like the next available within the age range. Yeah, that's what I tried to match based off of. So they did end up matching. And then Bria and Robert, I mean, I think that was like the number one choice for like most people. And of course, they matched.
Yes.
Which, let's go right into it. So
they actually received 4,300 votes. So that's kind of,
remember that number because I knew it was high.
They said it a couple times. So I was like, go ahead and flex. Y'all got 4,300 votes on this dating show inaugural season. So this is amazing that many people not only are watching, but they are also invested in seeing how these couples are going to match up. So that was a big flex. So I wanted to make sure that was out there. So sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
Oh. So I was going to go right into the first date. So now we're on the first dates for the three couples. And just to quickly again recap, is Bria and Robert, Sherelle and Walter, and Aries and Jesus.
Well, you were going to go into the dates. Let's talk about, because this is also the revealing piece too.
Oh, you want to talk about? I figure we'll talk about it probably within talking about the dates, but go ahead.
Well, because that was a different episode when they found out, no? Like when they just found out, okay, you were matched with this person. And the reason why I really want to hone in on this is Bria and Robert, they were both ecstatic to be matched with each other. Robert was like, "Oh, you better say, Bria," right? So that was like the perfect experience for this type of show, right?
Uh-huh.
And then Aries and Jesus, they find out about each other, and they were just like, "Okay, yeah, we were in each other's DMs, or Instagram, looking at each other's stuff." So
Right.
that makes sense. We probably figured that was going to happen. Then Sherelle and Walter, I was just like, wait a minute. So I think Sherelle was shown first, and she's just like,
Okay.
Walter, oh, I guess so. Like, oh no, oh no, what happened? And I was just like, oh, okay, that's not a great sign.
Months. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think when she first saw the videos and she had her response, she was saying that he seemed a little childish and she don't know if she would be able to deal with that piece. And then, he has 4 kids and she was saying, she only wanted 2.
That
So
part, I think maybe that is what outweighed anything else regarding that, uh, with him being the selected person, because
mhm,
like you said, she was like, maybe one. Oh, this man got 4. Oh, and I think he probably was a little outside of the age range she was looking for.
yeah,
Then you pile on that he really seemed like a big jokester,
yeah.
childish. I think it really was just like, this what y'all got from me? Y'all, this
Right.
what y'all gonna do to me? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because
Mm.
Terrence, right? That was my first choice for her. I think you said that was you picked
Robert and they were equal to me.
two.
That I
Okay.
think, yeah, she could have got along with any one of those. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So her reaction wasn't as enthusiastic as say Bria and Robert, which was like connection right
Yeah.
away, just from the videos. But I think that we'll talk about it within the date
Yeah.
itself once we get there. But yes, I think that
My fault.
I just thought we would talk about the date, then we kind of talk about their reaction. But it's cool. It's kind
Sorry,
of how
y'all.
conversations be going. Laura
This
is
is
very
our life.
linear. Like,
I am.
gotta
This
do
is what happened next. So, since I'm linear, Walter was told that Sherelle was his match, and he was just like, "Oh, you sure?" And I think he was about to say something about the comments sound like she didn't like me, but they kind of cut it. I don't know what happened there, but he was about to say, like, I don't think he was upset to be matched with her. I think he thought she didn't like him.
it.
So he probably felt like, I don't think this is going to work if she already, thinks I'm childish or whatever. Like, I'm sure they're watching the same stuff that we're watching because it is in real time, like what you said. So it's not like everything is being produced and then you're seeing stuff later on. You're seeing it as it plays on. So he probably watched it like, oh, well, none of these women go like me.
Yeah.
So he was just looking. He just seemed so nervous. Like, okay, I guess I'll try to see if she likes me, but I don't know. That was like not a great reception of hearing the news.
It wasn't on either one of their parts, right? It was just kind of like, oh, okay. I'm just
Yeah.
here so I don't get fined.
Again. Oh my gosh.
Hey, Aries and Jesus, going to them next
Yes.
regarding how they their reaction. So Aries and seeing Jesus, like I remember seeing her body language, she was just kind of like,
But that's how, I don't know, that's how she is.
it is, but again, I think she already had a limited scope, I guess, within the number of the guys that were available within, say, her age range and stuff like that. So here you are with maybe there was like 4 guys that would have been within the parameters of what she would have probably wanted.
Mhm.
And then it's like, well, I already know one, so kick him out. And then here's the other three. Yeah, I don't want another child. There's Walter gone. So that
Who
leaves.
did she pick? Remember they had an episode where they picked who they liked? I don't have it written down. Didn't she pick um Derek?
I think
And I think she picked Jesus. Because they were supposed to pick 3 guys.
they were supposed to pick. I remember just talking about them, and I think Derek and Jesus were like the two that she was kind of like, well, yeah, which is what I'm saying. Kick those two out. There's the only last two that were be within her parameters were Jesus
Those two.
and
So
Derek.
you
And
think
Derek
she
didn't
would
give
be
up.
happier? Aries, tell us in the comments, girl. Would you have been happier if you would have got Derek as your match? Let us know. Why is your eyes?
Yeah, because I did not see that match at all. So,
But she was interested in him. I don't know.
I
I
don't
was
know if she was
surprised when she was.
interested or it was just like, well, again, that's who's left. So, okay. Maybe I'm not remembering that part either correctly. But yeah, let
I
us know,
don't know.
Aries, of all the guys there, now that you're towards the end of taping and everything, who would you have chosen? If
Yeah,
you
because Aries, all you gave us was these little side eyes last time. So we want to know. I know you didn't want to ruin the show. So you could tell us now. Like, would you have rather Derek or somebody else? I don't know. But Brandon would have been my bet. I wish y'all didn't know each other because he seemed like he was mature enough to be matched with you. I don't know if he would have been fun enough or whatever to meet your personality, but they just seem on the surface, they would have been like a cute couple to me. I don't know. Okay. You don't want to say anything? So the first dates, okay, was basically a memory scavenger hunt that Miss Cameron Stage came up with. But the way how the dates are shown, it is, of course, still remote. We're still doing that. And there's a panel there. So the panel is made up of Miss Kev on stage, Angel, that chick Angel, and her husband, Tanksley Marcus.
Marcus ain't on the gram.
Marcus ain't on the gram. Tank, all these different names that they have are the panel, and they talk about kind of their thought process throughout the dates or what they picked up on to kind of break up some of the footage from these first dates. So some of the things that they're supposed to do on this first date is to do a scavenger hunt in their house and find 5 items that represent these categories. So do you want me to name all the categories or just go one by one? Okay, so
and then go through.
Okay, so all the categories are something that represents me, something from a last trip experience, something from my childhood, the last gift I received, and something that represents my dreams.
I like the idea. Like, I really like this idea, even if it was in person, but for virtual, it really, I think, just
it worked
with as an icebreaker, right? Get to know the person and kind of have this, like she was explaining in the video, you want to have dialogue, not just here's my thing and then like you just go to the next. But for that person to ask questions and oh yeah, I went there too, and how did you like that? Blah blah blah. So I really like the this idea.
I don't think everybody followed those rules though, with some of the things, unless they cut some of it, which we'll talk about kind of maybe where we'll see more of that. Yes. Okay. So they have those categories that they had to find something, and it was interesting to watch what people brought out, and you did learn a lot about each one of them based on what they picked. So that's the whole purpose of getting to know someone on the first date, and it kind of forces you to talk about yourself a little bit rather than sometimes you're just like, oh, what do I talk about? Now you have some parameters. So I thought that was really good for us to see. And then you start seeing who had chemistry or who was, I don't know, who was feeling each other a little bit more than the other. So maybe we could talk couple by couple. Do we want to start with the favorites or the not so
I was gonna
favorites?
start with the favorites, Bria
Okay.
and Robert. I
That Bria
mean,
though.
that Bria though. Listen, this was Robert the whole time, just cheesing. He
He's just
was
like,
so
what? Let
happy.
me see. Let me see. Let me see. What?
That chair, I wanted to be like, stay still, but it was so cute though. And I was cheesing the whole time. Like whenever they
Mm-hmm.
came on, I was like, this is exactly what Ms. Kev on stage had in mind when she came up with
Yeah.
a baking show. This is exactly what like we want to see. I'm just like, oh, y'all so cute.
Oh. They were super cute. They were just here for it. And
Mm-hmm.
you could just tell they let their guards down. She was giggling the whole time. He was like super interested in every single thing that she brought out. Even I'm sure he's not into like fashion or whatever. But when she brought out her purse about something that she got on her last trip, he was just like, wow, that's really cool. Look at that. That looks nice. Blah, blah. Like he was just in the moment for everything. And that makes the difference that it's like he's being open. He's also being vulnerable when he was talking about his mom.
Yeah.
It's just, they were just ready for the experience. So I liked seeing all of their package. It was
I'm like
great.
cheesing now, just thinking about them. It was just so cute. I'm like, oh, look at that. He is, like you said, was all into it, even little things like the fashion. But if that's part of you, I like you. Okay, then yes, I like
Exactly.
that too.
Exactly.
And they
And
do
that's what
have,
you do in a relationship. When you like someone, you just start liking stuff they like. You know what I mean? Because it makes them happy. I want you to be happy. I'm happy just being around you happy. So it's just infectious. So it was nice to see.
and their creativity, they have that bond that
Mhm.
together. And who was it? I think Kev on stage was mentioning, because they also watch Married at First Sight and talk about it. It was like, see, this is how it's supposed to work. You find commonality and that helps bond instead of the differences, which is what a lot of times what Married at First Sight does. They're like, here's the differences between the people. Here, okay, now we're gonna put you together. So this, I think, was a nice way to show that. I mean, and it can happen the other way too with the opposites. But
Mhm.
here's, okay, they have this in common. This is what's gonna kind of really help seal the deal with them and being able to grow into something hopefully more serious, as they get to know each other. So like the cameras, like him having the wall of all the different
Yeah.
cameras, and then she brings out her camera, a
Right.
Polaroid camera. So those things just had me really cheesing when I was watching them.
Yeah. I just loved all the excitement and the giggling and the happiness. And I guess we can go into the end part where Miss Kevin on stage also went and talked to each individual person after their dates to see how they felt about it.
Mm-hmm.
And Miss Kevin on stage was just like, she was like, I was yelling at y'all to ask for your number. You don't have to let it end here.
Because they were just like, all right, well, I guess I'll talk to you the next day. But they did not want to get off. And it was just like,
Yeah.
oh, it was like back to middle school. No, you hang up first. No, you hang up.
Right.
No, you hang. It was just so cute. Yeah. But it was like, okay, Robert, I mean, did they say you can't talk to her between days? If not,
Yeah.
sir, go ahead and ask for those digits.
I mean, you probably just don't know. Like, you don't know what the parameters are or whatever, but she was probably like, okay, give me that number. Come on now. I'll talk to you. Let's go. So he was just so excited. I don't know. He was good. And then that was one of the things that, even Bria brought up. Like, she was like, I wasn't sure. I was attracted to you. Like, I was interested, but I wasn't sure because in your package, you were kind of this person now that Robert is showing was not in his
So
original package
right.
at all. And he was like, well, that was like an interview. So I was more like, okay, let me answer these questions, whatever. But his big personality really showed in this piece. And I'm sure she was like, okay, I could, yeah, yeah. Just giggle, giggle, giggle the whole time. So they were super cute. I'm
And
really looking forward to seeing them blossom.
yes, and I was gonna say, and the fact that Miss Kelvin on stage had to bring up what the producer that kind of set it up was like, listen, y'all, I gotta go. Like
Oh,
they were still talking, like
they said 2 hours. They were the longest date. Like,
yes. So
hello.
the producer should have been like, listen, y'all need to change numbers and then y'all can continue. Okay. I gotta go though. But that just shows again the chemistry that was
Yeah.
there with those two, that it could last that long.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I love like everything that they said, they kind of spawned off of each other. Every mention, even like he said, like one of the things that he did was something that represents me, and it was his desk. And she was just like, well, let me see, zoom on in there. Cause you could have been like, oh, your desk. Okay,
oh,
cool.
that's nice.
All right. You know, like, but he was just like, let me see what's going on this desk. And he was opening up cabinets and stuff like that. And she was just like, okay, so you're organized. Okay, so you like this and you like this. So she was super into it. He was super into it. That's how you do things, ladies and gentlemen. Good job, Miss Kevin on stage.
I'm just
saying. Good
saying.
job, me. I voted for them.
You voted for them. I was just saying though, if there's a wedding and we need to go ahead and be in the audience virtually, you know, yes. That could be the next marriage on stage. I don't know.
Marriage on stage.
Go ahead and
hello.
And
we'll be in attendance. Okay, what we need to do, just buy a wedding gift. All right, we'll put a little something down on a wedding gift. We'll be in the building.
Hey, Bria.
We were there. Super cute. I loved it.
So I'm definitely looking forward to see their next date and see what happens from there. I mean, I'm super confident that it'll go well. I just feel like something major would have to have happened for them not to continue at this pace. Like,
I think so too. Okay. Next.
All right. You want to go Sherelle and Walter?
Yeah, let's do them.
I was pleasantly surprised at this date. Because of what we said before when they found out about each other, particularly on Sherelle's end, I was like, well, you know, we'll see. Because maybe Walter like saw that and be like, okay, I need to calm it down. And then he just ended up being really dry and boring. And that's not you. You know, you want to be your authentic self, right? Everybody talk about how these representatives come when you first meet someone, and that's not who you are, right? You want to be your authentic self. So I was a little concerned that maybe he would do that, kind of like, let me calm down, or, you know, be more reserved and not be as jokey as I would normally be. Because I mean,
isn't that what he did though?
I did feel like he did do that. But I think it was, I don't know. Like, I feel like
that was a different person.
It did seem like it was a different person. And then I feel like towards the end, I think some of it was maybe nerves, but I feel like towards the end, a little bit more of him started coming out and you start seeing a little bit more of it. But I felt like it was more nerves than it was him just like, I'm totally like changing who I am and representing someone that I'm not.
No, I don't think he represented. Yeah, I don't think he was faking or anything like that. But I feel like there was a little spark like gone from the date to me. It was like super serious. I can't even remember him like really joking at all. And it seemed like his personality seemed much bigger in the package than it did on the date. So I don't feel like he was like, that wasn't him though. I don't feel like that. Like he was not being genuine. Okay. So I don't know.
No, I don't think he did either, but that was him. That was a concern. I guess one of the things that came to my mind was like, oh, is he gonna just totally be like, that's not who I am, or just really cut it down when that is not naturally how he is. Like, there's some people that just naturally, they are always jokey and just being fun, and not in the joking, the childish way that we've talked about before, but I think it maybe a lot of it was just nerves of just, okay, let me just that's what I think was happening. But Sherelle, I think on the same way with her too, just kind of like, she was very, I'm here. Hi, Walter. How you doing? Okay, I don't think this really is a match for me, but I'm gonna be here and, go through the process. But I think as they got to talk and explore more, then it's like she started perking up a little bit, like, oh, okay. What are your thoughts?
I just feel like she's a nice person and he's a nice person. And I don't know if this was not a 3-date setup, I don't know if they would be going on another date. Like, I don't know if they would have both chosen to, let's do another date after this. It was more like what did you say, Marshawn Lynch? I'm just here so I won't get fined. But not in a bad way. More like, I'm going to still be present, but I'm not really.
Like, I'm not. This might be a new friend, but not a boyfriend.
Nah, I wasn't getting those vibes at all. Like, I was just.
At the end, throughout, none of it at all? Okay.
None of it. I just felt like she was like, oh, that's interesting. That's new. Like, when he was talking about his mom and he was kind of getting a little choked up, I think she was just like, that's really sad. Thanks for sharing that with me. That was really, brave of you to tell me about your mom. And then when he was talking about, I don't even want to bring up this Hebrew thing. This book. This Bible in Hebrew and how he read Hebrew, and he was like saying some words. She's like, oh my gosh. And she started talking about how she's now a minister and, that kind of, so those things interest her. I still did not feel romantic vibes. It was more like, oh, this is interesting. You're interesting. This was interesting. This is a great experience. Good to be here. All right. Thank you. Here's my card and we'll talk later.
Here's my card. It's like a networking event. I 100% agree with that. I felt like the whole vibe was just like, okay, I'm here. And the Hebrew thing, I feel like it piqued her interest, but just in we got
that's interesting.
Common. Yeah, but common in biblical meaning, but not like she reads Hebrew or anything. But yeah, it was just kind of like, that's it. Like, but definitely no chemistry. Thinking there's more that could potentially come out of this. It was just like,
at least I didn't. I thought it was going to be more awkward than it was. So if that's what we're talking about, then yes, I think the date went okay. But did I see even date 2? I'm interested. Date 2 is going to tell me a lot, because then maybe I misread date 1. And maybe date 2, if I see a lot more, I'm like, oh, maybe it did get better. And I just missed all of that because I was just looking at them like, oh.
So everything we're talking about opinion-wise are from what we saw and what was edited, right? I want to segue to Aries and Jesus. Can I do that? Do you have anything else to say? Okay. So I bring that up because for the next couple weeks, I believe they're going to be releasing the producer's cut, which is the full length of each of the dates for each couple. And they released the one for Aries and Jesus. And I watched that one yesterday, and I will tell you, I actually was pleasantly surprised at what I saw, because it showed more about their date than what we saw. And it kind of changed my opinion of these two after watching that. So I wonder if the same could be said with Walter and Sherelle.
But what did Miss Kim on stage say when she met with them individually? Wasn't it kind of the same? Like it was just okay, you know?
I don't
I feel like I
remember.
didn't miss anything. Oh, okay.
I'm saying it was nothing that was like Bria and Robert, right? Where it was very something memorable, about them and them discussing about the phone number, all that kind of stuff. I just remember them both kind of being like, yeah, everything went well, it went okay. And I feel like it was very short. Like she ain't spending that much. They didn't really show a lot between them. So and it was
I'll watch it. I'll see if maybe it'll change my opinion. I haven't seen the producer's cut of Aries and Jesus, so since we talking about them, no. It was like they were in a boxing match. It was like, you hit now I hit. It was more like
that's a good description of that. That is a very good description.
Without the violence, but it was just like,
almost a tennis match, maybe instead of
tennis. Thank you.
Boxing.
I don't want people thinking fighting.
Oh, you like boxing?
So yeah, I do. So yeah, they were in a tennis match. So it was just like your serve, your serve, your serve, your serve. Like what that chick Angel said about Aries, like she don't need nobody to boost her up or talk her up. She gonna give her round of applause to herself, by herself, with herself. You're just here to witness the greatness, basically. Like I'm just showing you how great I am, and I think what's my thought process on Jesus? I think Jesus would be more vulnerable to Aries if she allowed it, if she reciprocated it. And I feel like he was looking forward to that. That's why he kind of opened up about how he grew up, what kind of school he went to, how he struggled to get his business. And I don't know if Aries did that. I think the one thing she talked about was the pencil sharpener. And that was probably the only thing that she kind of said a little bit, kind of revealing herself. But everything else seemed very guarded and very surface level-y. And I think she was trying to feel him out. And he never got what he needed to kind of get more attracted to her, I think. You know what I mean? And it's the first date. So sometimes people not just going to let everything go on the first date. So I'm not blaming her for that. But he looked like he was like on the brink of like talking about his whole life story and all the struggles and everything. But she wasn't there yet. So he I felt like he was holding back a little bit more.
Okay. Good observation.
But I haven't seen the full video. Maybe I'll see something that I didn't see in the cuts. So
you will. So let me ask you this: the shades. So on their date, he's wearing these shades and everything. What were your first thoughts with him wearing the shades?
Well, they cut it real quick. They were like, "Why does he have shades on?" And they said he had LASIK surgery. So I couldn't get mad at him.
In the date?
Yeah.
Oh,
on the panel. No, he didn't say it on the date.
Oh, okay.
The panel said, I think that chick Angel was like, why did, because she's already like, she's like me. She's kind of like anti-Jesus a little bit, where she's like, what is this? No. So she brought that out real quick, and then they were like, oh no, he had LASIK. And so I'm figuring they already cleared that up. Oh, okay. I'm sure Aries would have been like, sir, you got shades on. What is this? Or I think she would have called him out quick. So they must have had a pre-conversation about why he had to wear those shades. So I didn't see him long enough to get mad at him for that, because I would have been upset. that you come on this
Okay, I
date.
missed that they
Oh,
said that he
really?
had LASIK on the show. At least I don't remember. But and the unfiltered, so we'll call it the producer's cut. That is one of the first things they talk about. Is that
Okay.
she brought it up, like, okay, sir, with these shades, and he's
See,
like,
I
I
know you,
can't.
Aries. I know your personality. I feel you, girl. Okay.
Yeah,
Then
and
don't rub
like
me
I
the wrong
had.
way. I know who you are. I can feel it.
He's like, I had the LASIK and the lights kind of bother me, so that's why I have these on. But he's like, but he also was like, yeah, it's also my style. So like to me, that also says even if he didn't have the LASIK, he probably would have had those shades on just as part of his
But
style.
he didn't have shades on any other time. So I don't think he would have put them shades on for the first date.
I would not have been surprised. Maybe
Really?
on and then take them off. Image, I feel like he's definitely.
He is definitely he's a conundrum because he says stuff that he does not portray.
Yeah.
So it's like, which one do you want to be? Or do you want to be just multiple people in one? Fine. But then you're just going to have to accept people will have a response to that, right? Because you can't say, I'm he's like, I'm thrifty, I shop at this, I'm this, but then I'm conceited, I'm into image, I'm this, I'm that. I don't know. He just seems like he's everything all the time. And it's
Yes.
just like, not
Yes.
my style.
So all of that. Um, with the producer's cut, I will say watch it, and we can maybe talk about next episode what your thoughts were, because we did in seeing the full length of the conversation that they had, which they
Mm-hmm.
talked actually for a while before they even start sharing the things. It
Yeah.
actually was like, oh, okay, they're like actually are getting to know each other. They seem to be actually interested in each other and how they were conversing and everything. So, and watching the snippet on the show, it did not come across that way. It kind of really did, like she was just like, you know what, why y'all wasting my time? Um but he showed more. They did talk about things. She did not get as vulnerable as what you were saying, like he may have wanted, but I think it is the first date. It's just kind of very surfy,
Yeah.
who you are. So they talked about, following each other on Instagram. She, I guess a little bit, she got a little vulnerable talking about, he asked about her relationship with the her ex-husband, her kid's
Mm-hmm.
father. So she kind of talked about that and their relationship. So they had, I think, actually a good conversation, like, and dived into a few things that maybe would have been, later on, but it did show a different side of Jesus. Still kind of like, but you said this, but how does that work? But it did give a little bit more that I appreciated watching and getting to know him a little better. But there's still some things there. It's just like, sir,
But
how?
I'm confused why she said something, and I think even Kevin on stage said something about his Instagram doesn't show who he really is. And I'm like, it's Instagram. Are we saying that our social media has to be a true reflection of who we are every day? Because if that's the case, there's a whole bunch of people whose Instagram don't have nothing to do with their daily life.
Anything?
Nothing. He says he's a business person, so he puts out what's good for his business. That's his brand. So I don't understand what was this big thing about how what his Instagram shows is different than who he is. Half the people, more than half the people, is probably that's how it is.
It's fake.
I'm on Instagram, I don't put nothing on there. I think I got 2 pictures. So what? I don't understand what that was about.
So I think this is where she kind of started tapping into her professional sales branding, kind of like area because she also was talking to him about how he should be a motivational speaker, talking about his past and what he's made it through. And she's like, you should put that on your Instagram, like so people can see that. So I'm thinking that's where some of that came from. And she was like promote yourself, show different things that you can also do instead of just the business.
But you are not his publicist. You are on a date with this man. Date one. Date one is let me just get to know you better. And maybe if our relationship progresses, then you want to promote your other significant other. So I'm not saying don't, put your influence in trying to get them to do better. But on date one, I can't imagine somebody on my first date telling me, what you should do? You should do this. He's gonna be like, what? You're supposed to be getting to know me. Know me first.
You're trying to manage me now? Like, what is this? Yeah, it did go there on the producer's cut. I am interested to see what happens next. So again, everything that's edited that they show on the show, you're not seeing the full picture. So
yeah, of course.
Yeah, so I'm just like, okay, now that I see the full length interview, or not an interview, it did seem like an interview at times for sure, right? He was even like, wait a minute, no, stop, don't interview you. I got questions.
But then he still answered. He was just like, all right. Okay. But yeah, that's what it was turning into. But you see this, you see another, like, okay, like what we did with Sherelle and Walter. The show, for me, if the show didn't exist, there would be no date two. What about for Aries and Jesus, in your opinion? If this was not a show, this is just a regular date, do you feel like there'll be a date two? Because you saw the whole cut.
Yeah, I'd probably say no, even seeing that. I feel like it was just, again, I'm here. Oh, okay, you're interested. I'll talk to you, but I don't see a date.
I think she was more curious than interested.
Oh, yeah. 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 Why did he put me together with him? Okay, let me talk to him. Oh, okay.
Because she wanted to see him before they even matched. When she first saw his package, she was like, I'm gonna look him up right now. I'm just curious to know this man.
Yeah, I would agree with that analysis. More probably curiosity than anything else. But yeah, no, I would put all my chips on Bria and Robert. All my chips.
Oh man, Aries, I want you to find like your man. Sorry, Jesus. I'm sorry. Maybe this did work out and I'm overdoing it, but I don't know. I want Aries to find her Boaz, like they be trying to find out there.
Yeah, there's some rumors going around about Jesus and what?
What's the rumors?
No,
I thought you were gonna say Walter, because
Oh well, there's something else out there about Walter too. In Hebrew.
Victory.
Just that there was some picture, I guess it was the reunion show maybe that happened recently, and they showed everybody except Jesus wasn't in the picture. Maybe he just couldn't make it. I don't know. But people out there are basically commenting
stalkers
that they think it didn't work out with those two. Would not be surprised though. So we'll see. I do not know. It's the first season, right? So don't know how many episodes total there would be on the show, but they are naming each episode. We're up to episode
10.
Is it 10 already?
Yeah, I think it's 10.
Yeah, 10. So if they do next 2 weeks, the producer's cut of the dates for the other two couples will be at 12. So, and we still got the dates. And if they do that for all of them, Lord, this is going to be as long as Married at First Sight.
Listen, you got to learn from the best. Collect them coins. I'm not even mad at y'all. I'll be watching with my popcorn.
With your popcorn, taking notes.
And then y'all got to tell us, what state do y'all want to see this in? Because I want another season. So what state we need to move this to?
So this is Texas.
Texas.
So all the ladies are like no, Bria isn't. I was about to say, I thought all the ladies were in Dallas and all the guys were in Houston, but I think Bria's not in
she's in Beaumont.
Dallas. Yeah. Okay.
Footloose. So, that's all I remember.
What you said?
Footloose, Beaumont, Texas. Okay.
So Texas. Okay, cool. What do you think? What would be a city?
I think Atlanta.
See, I want to go to a place. Well, we said city and states. Okay, so Atlanta, Georgia. Sorry. I would think I would want to see those areas that don't normally get publicity. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So like you don't see a lot of these dating shows, and they're always in the big city, which I'm sure is probably, you know, more people, easier casting and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. Maybe like a North Carolina or something.
Okay.
Somewhere in Charlotte. I don't know.
Married at First Sight was there.
They were, weren't they? Okay, Raleigh Durham then. All right, I don't remember.
Wilmington, Delaware. Exactly. That's how people gonna look. It's gonna be like, what? Delaware? Who's in Delaware? Who lives there? I'm sorry if y'all watching from Delaware. I didn't mean that.
Orlando, Florida. Why? Don't get that look. Well, we're just throwing out names of cities right now. But you know,
yeah, we still got like 15 more episodes. So, you know, we're just talking.
So yeah, it would be good to go see somewhere else. Or the stages, as someone say, the stages, they can go back to Washington and do it. The Frederick.
Oh, well, yeah. They could do Washington.
Yeah, where they're from.
A couple big cities there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We're just throwing out some ideas for y'all. Okay.
Yeah, we'll watch.
So, okay. Any last thoughts regarding this episode?
That Bria though. That Robert though. Y'all cute. That's it.
All right. Well, we'll be back in probably in a couple weeks. Get through the producer cuts and get to date number 2, you know. See what's going on with these couples and see who's still around for the dates.
You got to do that. Watch our last episode, get the Kev on Stage Studios app or streaming service, excuse me. And join us. We love this kind of stuff. This is Black love in its finest. Okay. Come on, guys. Let's go.
All right, so we'll link some details within the video so you can watch those previous episodes, as well as check out the Kev on Stage streaming service. So before we leave, we'd like to remind our viewers to do something very special because we want you to take care of yourself. And so we normally end with Lori saying what?
Protect your throne and subscribe to our channel.
All right, guys. See you next time.